Hi, my name is Tracy Bickerdike and I'm Head of Licensee Training and Development with Starpups. Today we are hosting an apprenticeship webinar with Remit Group and HIT Training. Let's first hear from Lisa at Remit Group.
Remit, the benefits of an apprenticeship, how they work, the journey and qualifications that we offer, a little bit around English and maths, the support your learners and you will get, and eligibility. My details will be at the end of the slide, so if anyone wants to contact me afterwards, then please do not hesitate. Next slide, please, Tracy. Thank you. So, who are Remit Training? We are an independent national training provider. We were established back in 2008. So we specialise in people development schemes and apprenticeships in many different sectors, including automotive, manufacturers, hospitality chains, councils and supermarkets. And you'll see just from some of the brands that I've highlighted on the slide, who else we do work with. That's just to name a few. So just a bit around our story. The Thrive Hive is a really exciting leadership academy that is exclusive to Remit Training, where we deliver unique, innovative, and immersive leadership and management apprenticeship schemes. The Thrive Hive is one that we're really buzzing around leadership, and we're really big enough to deliver on excellence, but small enough to really care about our people and our clients. Our development coaches are really highly experienced in their fields, having come from the industries in which they teach, and they work with around 2,200 apprentices a year. Back in July 2023, we were incredibly proud to say that Ofsted graded us as outstanding, and we've also been awarded the Platinum accreditation by Investors in People. So you really will receive a high education programme, and you will be in good hands with us. Next slide, please, Tracy. Okay, so what is an apprenticeship? I'm sure some of you are fully aware of what's involved, but I will just top line give you an overview. So an apprenticeship is a formal education combining training and development alongside a job role that allows you and your learners to really enhance and learn new skills, knowledge and behaviours. And they're the key things really. So we need to be putting people onto programme that are going to be learning new skills, knowledge and behaviours. In terms of funding, so I'll just briefly touch on this. So for 16 to 21-year-olds, this will be fully levy funded. And then if you have staff who are aged 21 or above, the pub licensee will pay 5% of the levy. Thanks, Tracy. Next slide. So just in terms of how apprenticeships work, so we have a blended approach to our programmes. Our cohorts are usually in cohorts of around 12. Our development coaches have no more than around 40 learners at any one time. So your learners really will get that, great support and personal one-to-one level. In terms of the approach, so they will have group sessions with their peers. They will work alongside a mentor within your workplace. That can be a manager or another senior member of staff. They will have monthly sessions with their coach. So that will be sometimes face-to-face, virtual, or as I say, group sessions. They will need to complete some self-study and assignments. There will be 12-week progress reviews, which the manager and learner will both need to attend just to make sure all is on track and is going well. And functional skills. I don't know how much any of you know, but there's been some recent changes to functional skills. So as part of the process, learners will need to complete initial and actual diagnostic assessments, but then they can choose to opt in or opt out of English and maths. And I think that's going to be a real benefit and a real USP moving forward for some companies. Obviously, the learner and the manager and the employer will need to decide on the best form of opting in or opting out, depending on the role that the learner will be doing. Thanks, Tracy. Oh, I think you've jumped ahead. Should be the learner journeys next. You're not. No, Fuse is on yours, is it? Sorry. I've got 3 slides on the 3 qualifications. Are they not in your pack? No. Okay, I'm just going to touch on the three qualifications we do then. Sorry, Trace, I'm not sure why they've not come through. So the three qualifications that we offer are hospitality team member, which is level two. Um, so that is for a hospitality team member that can work across a range of hospitality settings, including bars, restaurants, cafes. The role is varied, and individuals tend to specialise in an area and have to be adaptable and ready to support team members across the business. So it's a 12-month programme with 3-month endpoint assessment. Um, the next qualification, and I have got fact sheets that I've shared with Tracy. So if you and your learners want to know more specifics around the programme, then we can share those with you. Hospitality supervisor
Yeah,
level three.
found them. They were hidden, so I've just unhidden them. So yeah,
Oh, so I thought they were there. Sorry.
yeah, I just went into the deck and they were hidden. So I've got them back. There you go.
No worries. Sorry. Thank you, Tracy. So hospitality supervisor level three, that's equivalent to 2As at A level. So the hospitality supervisor role, learners are responsible for delivering a positive experience to customers to help meet sales targets, encourage repeat custom, and grow loyalty. So again, it's a 12-month program with 3-month endpoint assessment. And then the third qualification is production chef level two. So again, a 12-month program with 3-month endpoint assessment. So production chefs work as part of a team in time bound and often in a challenging kitchen environment. The production chef or appropriate line manager chefs are likely to work with centrally developed standardized recipes and menus, producing food often in high volumes. I say this is very top line. The fact sheets will give you some more information. Just in terms of the platforms that we use at Remit, so we use what's called Fuse and ePortfolio. So this gives both the learner and manager access to a wealth of learning materials and resources. It's an exceptional choice in the way they can learn. It's all in the form of a magazine style. You can access to an online community which allows interaction with other apprentices that are on the same cohort, and you can work with the development coaches that the learners are assigned to really understand where they're progressing. We have a red, amber, and green system, so you can really see where your learners are tracking, and that will tell you whether they're on track or not, and whether they need some additional support. This also links with the 20% off the job activities, and you can access these platforms 24/7. In terms of eligibility, all learners must require significant new learning. Like I alluded to before, it is around learning new knowledge, skills, and behaviours. So that is a key requirement. They need to be a UK or EU resident for the last 3 years, UK national or permission from UK government to live and work in the UK. Complete their initial maths and diagnostic assessments as an entry requirement. Then, as I said, they can choose to opt in or opt out, and they can't be in full or part-time education to qualify for funding. Next slide, please, Tracy. So is it right for you, your pub, your learner, and the manager involved? So you need new knowledge, skills, and behaviour. You need to be in a relevant job that's going to give you that. The employer will support you with the off-the-job time. So if you work 30 hours, this equates to around 6 hours a week. You'll need to agree to the self-study requirements. You really do need to be committed to the programme. One of the things we've recently introduced is a commitment statement from our learners to really make sure that they see the whole journey through. And you, as managers and learners, will need to be or agree to be involved in progress and skills review meetings every 10 to 12 weeks. Just in terms of the next step, so I know that you guys have got access to the MyStar easel platform, but once you've registered your interest and you have a learner that wants to go onto a specific program, we invite that learner and manager to an engagement session. What we cover at that session is a little bit more around.
Hello, mate. How are you?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
That's all right. I'm certainly going to leave it now.
Shall I carry on, Tracy? Or...
Yeah, I've just
Yeah.
muted them, so they're
Oh,
not.
sorry. So yeah, at the engagement session, we cover a little bit more around remit, the roles and responsibilities of the learner, manager, and mentor, and really enforce that commitment piece for all parties. We also go into a bit more detail around the qualifications, and it gives that learner an opportunity to speak to somebody that's occupationally competent to answer any questions and to just make sure they're making the right decision. So that's something new that we've introduced just to really make sure that we are getting the right people and that Joe Blogs isn't just saying go on program because my manager wants me to. So all parties need to agree that it's the right thing for both the learner and manager. Once they've attended the engagement session, that's when we get them to fill a formal remit application form out. And that's where they do the commitment statement and a bio. So on the application form, it's basic things like your name, address, previous work history, and qualifications. We then invite learners to complete invigilated internal and actual diagnostic assessments for English and maths. And obviously, if you're 19 or over now, then there is the option to opt out if all parties agree. After you've done the assessments, we then get you to complete a skills review. So both the learner and manager will complete a skills review. This is just to basically make sure that you're not, or the learner's not overqualified for the role, and just to understand where their previous experience and learning sits at. And then we launch them onto program as soon as possible. All of this can be done within a month. I think that's me done. So thank you for listening. That is a real whistle stop tour. Hopefully it's given you a flavour about who Remit are, what we cover, and the opportunities for some of your staff. I've put my email address on here, but it's lisa.bradshaw@remit.co.uk. And as I said, there is also the expression of interest platform through the MyEasel star platform that you guys have access to. Tracy.
Sharing there, and I'm just going to ask Jeremy, just while we're on camera, just to introduce himself, and I'll get your deck up in a moment, Jeremy. So, but before we go to Jeremy, just want to ask the participants on the call if anybody's got any questions, if you want to come off mute. I know there's nothing in the chat, but if anybody's got any questions you want to ask Lisa, then just give you a couple of minutes just to do that before we go on to hear about from HIT training. So any questions from anyone? Okay. Can I just ask?
I've got one.
Oh, go on, Matt. Go on, Matt.
Hello. So you said the levy gets paid for under 21s. Over 21s, it's 5%. What
does that equate to?
What's the levy?
Yeah, I was going to have it ready, and then time went
clear.
out. I have got it to hand, so if you just give me 2 seconds, we answer the next question, I will get it. I should have had it prepared, but I'm being honest and just need to bring it up on my emails. But I'd closed my emails down so I didn't get any distractions. Let me just bring it up. It's very reasonable, Matt.
I think we've got a question in chat right now. Yeah, so Joe and Ormond is asking, is there any age limit to apprenticeship?
No, 17.
Is that the minimum age they've got
Yes,
to be?
yeah.
And any upper age limits?
No age limits, no.
Brilliant. And have you got the levy information to hand?
Yeah, so production chef, as an example, is 5% employer contribution is £450.
And can that be paid? Has it got to be paid all at once, or can it be paid over monthly, over a year, over a period of time?
£50 a month, I believe.
So it can spread the cost.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Just looking at the other qualifications. Hospitality team member.
Under 21, there's no fee, is there? For 20, is it 21 and under, Lisa?
Yeah. For which one, sorry?
But anybody at age 21 or under, there's no
charges, yeah.
No,
if we take the production chef as or the hospitality team member as an example, that would cost you £22.22 a week, Matt.
Brilliant. Right, so I'm now going to ask Jez just to introduce himself, and then we'll share your deck with everyone. Okay.
Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Lisa. Very informative. Good morning. My name's Jeremy Scorer. Please call me Jez. I'm the Licensed Trade Director at HIT Training, Hospitality Industry Training. So third generation publican, been in the industry forever and been in education associated with the industry for the last 18, 19 years or so. I've managed, which I think you guys will absolutely appreciate, to perform a miracle today by keeping a kitchen quiet for the sake of sort of 10, 15 minutes. If the background noise just get a little excessive, I'll make some apologies and endeavour to sort of keep them all in tow. So thank you. HIT Training, we are a national sort of training organisation, independent training organisation. We specialise in hospitality and culinary education, apprenticeship, short courses and other qualifications. We also have sister companies that work in the world of health and social care, funeral, early years, leadership and management, and more excitingly and recently brewer, so exclusive provider of the level 4 brewer apprenticeship program as well. My responsibility is for licensed trade and the brewing industry. We work and very proudly work very closely with some recognised industry associations, namely BII, British Beer and Pub Association, UK Hospitality, Institute of Hospitality, SEBA, and proud sponsors of National Pub Watch as well. So we're closely aligned to the licensed sector. Our proudest element, and the one that we do celebrate, is our award-winning Chef Academy, of which I'm here today and we'll talk a little bit more about in a minute. So again, lots of stats, lots of information. How much difference does it make? Yeah, that's an awful lot. We're very proud of it, but the importance is about the relationship that we, as providers, similarly to Lisa and her colleagues at Remit, have with our sort of customers and our clients industry. If you want to just, I can quickly whip through these, Tracy. If you want to go to that next slide, it's a little bit about what drivers. And it's not dissimilar to what drives you guys out there in trade. It's about a passion for the sector. It's about bringing an expertise to the table. It's about going that little extra mile, not just for our team members, our colleagues, but also for our customers. It's about sort of taking pride and passion in what we do, but it's about making a difference, not only to the business. I mean, that's the primary, perhaps, level, a piece of interest that we're all looking for, is how can we impact positively on business productivity, profitability, and sustainability. So it's about keeping the business profitable, keeping in business, and keeping our most important and most valued asset, which is our people, retained in our organisation. The next slide, Tracy, please, if you would. So, yeah, why apprenticeships? I can't enhance or improve what Lisa suggested about the importance of sort of training and education. And apprenticeships, having had particularly bad rap for many years, are absolutely misrepresented, and they have and add huge value, as I said again, to your business primarily, but also to your people. Investing in your people does aid staff retention, does improve recruitment opportunities. If you're looking to engage people in your organisation, any individual seeing you as an active supporter of training and education will be more likely to apply for that vacancy. It does improve customer satisfaction scores. That ability for an individual to best communicate with your guests, with your customers and your clients helps increase that emotional connection with your customer, as well as productivity and profitability. A better knowledge of the products and services that you offer enables that individual to best sort of demonstrate and promote those services to customers, encouraging repeat customers, increased spend per head, and more, as importantly, repeat business, all leading, as we would hope, to profitability, which I think in this day and age, and what we're all due to experience this coming April, is a very important consideration indeed. Next slide, please, Tracy. So what the benefits of apprenticeship, and again, I apologise if I am repeating what Lisa has already very adequately suggested. It does attract the best talent and inspires staff loyalty. Those myths that train people only for them to move on are unfounded. There are measures and metrics that both Lisa and ourselves can demonstrate how an appropriate training strategy with your people and your organisation does keep your best people at your business. It shows commitment to your team's development. It does include, as I mentioned already, productivity and profitability. If I can't demonstrate within 6 months of engaging one of your colleagues on a programme the measures and the metrics and the improvements that has made to business performance, then I'm missing a trick somewhere. And it'll be the first time in my 18 years in education that I wouldn't be able to do that. Increased customer satisfaction scores and provides that competitive business advantage. Thank you, Tracy. So busting apprenticeship myths. We've all got leaflets. This was a bit of research that we did with some of our customers and answering some of the questions already asked in this webinar. No, they're not just for the young. We're proud to suggest that over 14% of our 3,500 apprentices are over the age of 45. That's a considerable percentage, and I think it's an indication of individuals who we employ in the hospitality sector now. So people coming back into business or back into industry, or people having worked in the industry for a number of years, desiring to gain some recognition and some qualifications for the efforts and the professional work that they put in thus far. Blowing on my training budget, we can talk about contributions. I will also, as excitedly, talk about some of the benefits and some of the financial rewards. I would always suggest, why not invest in your people? They are your most expensive asset. They are your most important asset. But there are ways that we can offset some of that. It might be, not wanting to get into too much detail, it might be around appropriate levy transfer, where that levy cost that you would incur as an independent organisation can be funded by a friendly partner who has levy pot to spare. That's a slide for another conversation, but I'm happy to go into more detail on that if required. Does it take up too much time mentoring your people? You mentor your people anyway. I've always said every operator, every publican, every licensee is a trainer in their own right, whether it's a new product, a new service, a new approach, a new method of presentation, a new cooking method. That's training and education. That's the off-the-job training that you would deliver them. The mentoring of an individual on an apprenticeship program just adds huge value to that and gives the individual receiving said mentorship that level of investment that you are making in their career and subsequently in your business. Apprenticeships aren't just for entry-level tasks. Apprenticeships exist levels 2 through to level 7, from entry roles all the way through supervisory management, operational departmental management, and into degree level. And soon to be introduced, watch this space, come August, there will be foundation apprenticeships for those new entrants to industry. They'll leave as soon as they finish. No, if you've mentored that individual, you've worked, you've committed, you've invested in that individual, I would question that is as evident and as regular as some people would suggest. It's about supporting your individual. Your demonstration of supporting them in their career development, investing in their time, is quite often, if not all the time, repaid by loyalty, and not someone with a degree. You might have individuals working with your organisation that have undertaken degrees in different subject areas. There is no restriction for them returning to learning and education in the form of an apprenticeship programme. They may have a master's in history or in engineering science, but wish to come into sector. So that's an opportunity for your organisations. Apprenticeships are for all. They aren't just for recruited new entrants to your business. You have people within your organisation that are eligible, that have been working with you for a while, who may be keen to further their studies and gain that recognition, as already suggested. The brewer apprenticeship, for example, I think nearly 30% of individuals on the level 4 brewer programme have degrees masters in other subject areas. So there's no restrictions in that regard. Thank you, Tracy. Next slide, please. Here's the biggie. It's been in place now for a year or so. National insurance breaks for employers. Employers pay no Class 1 national insurance contribution for their employees who are apprentices under the age of 25 years. Now that's a considerable saving, particularly in light of the increases due in April. So that's no Class 1 national insurance. And just quoting the figures that Lisa has shared about the contribution required for the payment or the co-contribution, the levy co-contribution, is more than offset against the savings you will make if your apprentice is under the age of 25 years whilst they are on the apprenticeship programme. That either applies for a new or existing employees, and it is on earnings up to the upper limit, 50,270, the current upper limit, which equates to about £970 per week. That's considerable saving. Estimates suggest for a salary circa 20,000 per annum, that the saving is to the tune of about £1,400 per annum, more than offsetting the cost of any levy contribution required. So those figures are based on 24-25. The benefits increase as we know the national insurance contributions change in April. The level dropping from the 9,000 to 5,000 takes that secondary level into a more exciting position when you're thinking that no Class 1 is required to be paid. And again, once an enrolment, both ourselves and Remit, are able to sort of demonstrate to you how you can sort of claim for that on payroll. Our apprenticeships, as I suggested before, we are sort of hospitality specialists from level 2's hospitality team member, commis chef apprenticeship, which is what's been demonstrated here today, production chef level 2, progress into level 3 opportunities, hospitality supervisory or supervisor, a fantastic qualification for those individuals aspiring to be managers within your organisation or responsible for supervising other colleagues. Chef de partie apprenticeships at level 3, senior production chef apprenticeships level 3, newly introduced pastry chef program, which we're very excited about. It's a very specialist pathway for those individuals looking to specialise in that area. And then progressing into level 4 hospitality manager apprenticeships, senior culinary chef apprenticeships, and then even further into hospitality operational manager. We've adapted an operational manager apprenticeship at level 5 to deliver bespokely against within the hospitality sector. In a similar vein, our apprentices, they receive sort of monthly interventions with their vocational trainer. They would be workshops that they would attend, talking specifically about the sort of chef academy. I will introduce Rory, our lead chef, here today, talk a little bit more about that. The program and the process is very similar: application, enrolment, and induction. That's at that stage the discussions I had with potential apprentice and employer to ensure that the program is fit for the individual, the program is fit for the location. For example, that key conversation distinguishing between production chef and commis chef is a very important one, to make sure that the individuals are on the right pathway, they are undertaking the right knowledge, skills and behaviours to ensure that they can apply those new skills, those new behaviours, that fresh knowledge into their organisation, and to be able to demonstrate that knowledge on a regular basis to improve business performance. Thank you, Tracy. So what is Chef Academy? If allowed, I'd like to introduce Rory to join. I'm going to look hopingly to my left, and Rory will just talk through the little bit about Chef Academy. Let me
so we can fully concentrate on Rory talking about the Chef Academy. I'm really excited about this.
Okay, let's so okay, I'll do a volume check.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Hopefully you can hear me. Okay. As Jez has said, my name's Rory. I'm leading today's session at the Academy. We're currently at Suffolk Food Hall in Ipswich. So we've got learners from across East Anglia that have visited us today. Some are here for the second day, some are here for their first day. We normally run two back-to-back really here. So Chef Academy, in a nutshell, we set the Chef Academy up almost 10 years ago now. I was one of the lucky individuals that started alongside our principal, mainly so we could really look at the gap in the market and gap in skills and knowledge for the chefs. So, apprenticeships are great, and you guys in the industry do a lot to support the apprentices, but there was definitely some additional things that we could do. So we have a variety of workshops that we run. We run 3 masterclasses, 2 based around proteins, so fish, meats and poultry. We're doing that today, so the learners here are going to be, you probably heard some braising off of some lamb, going to be making things with whole chicken and then whole fish dish later on in the afternoon as well. We'll all get together and eat that as part of our family or staff lunch as well. The main reason Jez is here. We also do more specialists, so we then go into dessert and pastry work for Masterclass 3, and then we have a variety of specialist courses and workshops that we can do. So we can do things like game and offal, vegetarian cooking and veg protein, more bespoke patisserie as well. They're mainly for our level 2 learners. Level 3 we start to advance. We can adapt and change as well. So we've got some level 3 learners here today who are we're stretching and challenging. So instead of doing like the base dishes for the level 2 guys, they're going to do things a lot more intricate as well. And then, as Jez said, for the more specific, so pastry chef, I've been responsible for developing alongside a couple of others in the team, very specific, really intricate for those particular skills that people need. And then all the way up to like level 4 with senior culinary chef, we've done workshops based around management, training, their own teams, development, sustainability to really start to push the guys. So, we've had learners that started at level 2 that are now up to level 4 and everything in between. We're across the country. I run sites up and down the north and the Midlands of the country. Jack here is in the east. We've got venues up and down. We're really flexible and can set up and pop up where we needed to, really. So, yeah, I could talk about Chef Academy all day, but that's the real kind of in a nutshell of what we do. Really.
Tracy, can you bring the slides back up? Because there were some Chef Academy slides on there that might sort of help Rory prompt, if you don't mind.
Yeah, just doing that now for you. Okay, let me just get that up.
Yeah, so I've really talked about what the Academy is. Yeah, so that was the Academy in a nutshell. Obviously, I've talked about the workshops, and I know you guys can have a lot more time to digest these as well. Some of my favourites, nose to tail, really good. We look at utilising the whole animal, and then you can see the production chef and senior production chef workshops as well, really. So, yeah.
And I think, and again, the invitation goes out, and it's one really not to be missed. If any of sort of those people here present or watching this recording back, wish to come along to a workshop to sort of experience it themselves, there's no better sort of decision to make than speaking to some of the apprentices, in site, and to sort of experience what the individuals do, sort of pick up. So that's an invitation available to all. Happy to coordinate that. Not all at once, please, because we're running on small kitchens. But certainly happy to sort of showcase what we do. For those people still considering making decisions as to whether it's the right move and the right programme for them or for their colleagues. So,
Yes, can I ask how many locations have you got throughout the country in terms of doing these chef apprenticeships?
Oh, we're over 25 different venues up and down, all the way from Newcastle in the northeast down to Padstow in the southwest, and everything in between. If there's a particular place where we're not operating, we're easily inflexible and can pop up where needed.
Yeah, and it's not.
Are your apprenticeships a mixture of off-job and on-job training?
Yeah. I mean, this obviously attendance at an academy goes a long way towards sort of meeting the off-job requirement, and not wanting to talk in terminology that confuses me most of the time, let alone any other colleagues. Off the job is just about that sort of capturing of activities that wouldn't normally fall as part of an individual's day-to-day role. And the workshops are sort of perfect examples of capturing those hours, which we were obliged to do under the sort of terms of any program. But yeah, the workshops are all practical. They're all managed. They can be bespoke if numbers, are sufficient and the location is particularly required. We have good relationships with other facilities all over. It's not uncommon for us to go to a client's site if the numbers, justify, and to do bespoke programs, at and on site in location. Not dissimilar to what we do with, beer and cellar quality training. There's nothing better than doing in an operator's own kitchen or an own cellar. So that is all, within our capabilities, and the team now ever expanding, of Rory, will allude to. It's something that I think is the success rates of the program are sort of testament to the effort put into the delivery and the content.
I know these off-job skills are really well appreciated by the chefs, because I know I met with you, Jeremy, in one of your kitchens in Manchester, and I came across one of my old chefs in there that had worked for me in a previous life when I was an area manager in, I think it was Drinking Hungry Horse, and he was there. He'd worked in kitchens all his life, but he hadn't got a qualification to back it up. So I know chefs, it's a good way to upskill them and to get them to get some sort of professional qualifications, some extra skills. So, and he must have been in his late 40s doing this. So I think it's a testament to the program that you run, that it does attract, people that want to learn and keep progressing throughout their career.
Yeah, and we know how difficult it is to attract them to our businesses, let alone keep them there. And this is one of those, little tools or additional tools that do just that. So it's as well as their sort of individual development and progression within the sector, it does breed sort of loyalty to the organisation and to the venue without a shadow of a doubt.
Just for the audience that's on, anybody got any questions about chef programs, apprenticeship programs? Have you got any direct questions to Jez? Okay.
I feel a little left out there. At least I've got at least one question, Tracy. What's
I know. I think they must be shy, or you've said everything that you need to know on that. So I will move on to your last slide, and then there are a couple of handouts that we've got. So following this presentation, I will send you the 2 decks plus some other handouts that you can read through. So I'm just going to go on to your last slide, Jess. So if they want to get in touch with Hit Train, again, this is tell them how to do that.
So our contact is another Lisa, Lisa Clapson. My colleague is a senior business manager. She works very closely with me on licensed trade and brewer at Hit Training. Her details are there, lisa.clapson at hittraining.co.uk, double T. Or there, we are, I believe, appearing on your My Star Easel platform as well. My details, Tracy will share with you. You're more than welcome to reach out to me if there's anything specific I can help with. But please don't be a stranger. Don't be afraid to ask the questions, because you'll all have sort of more considerations, no doubt, 10 minutes after this, and hopefully we can answer those in due course.
Yeah, thank you. Can I just say a huge thank you to both Lisa and Jez for hopefully making apprenticeships really clear and it's super easy to use. Thank you for joining us and listening to our webinar. Please see on screen details of our 2 presenters should you wish to contact them.